Welcome to the Misquamicut Beach Podcast, a podcast spotlighting the businesses, newsmakers, events, and memories of Rhode Island's historic Misquamicut Beach.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Misquamicut Beach Podcast. My name is Ben Barber. I am your host and one of the producers of the show. Today, we have a very special episode that is both uplifting and the cause of it is a little discouraging. As I'm sure many of you know, this year at the beginning of this summer season, especially right around the 4th of July, we have had a massive problem with trash on the beach, and it has caused the NBA to start the Respect Our Beaches campaign. And specifically, mostly at the State Beach parking lot, but all over. So today we have two wonderful guests, Justine and Pamela from the Misquamicut Waste Warriors on as guests for the show, and I'm very excited to have both of them. They were incredibly intelligent, well-spoken young women who are making a huge difference in the community, and they're going out and picking up the beach and organizing and doing just a tremendous job. And I was very excited to talk to both of them, so I got to talk to both of them just before the big press conference down on the beach, moments before they actually just left here to go to the press conference. So they're having a busy time with interviews and press, as well as working their regular jobs and, going to school and still finding time to help their community, which is just awesome. And so I couldn't have been happier to talk to Justine and Pamela, and I think that you're going to love that interview. And then also in that interview, Justine talked about how she wanted to do some journalism. She was thinking about going into a career in journalism eventually. And so I said, okay, well, you're going to be at this press conference today. We'd love to hear from some of the people at the press conference. So she is going to go out, and at the end of this episode, we're going to put on some of the interviews that she did with the representatives from the state and the local government and the business owners about this beach cleanup and what is going to be done about it and what they hopefully can find as the solution and how they're feeling about the whole issue. So that is it. Check out Misquamicut Waste Warriors on Facebook. Check out the Misquamicut Beach page. And if you do bring trash to the beach, please make sure that you dispose of it properly. Please do not leave it in the parking lot or on the beach itself. You obviously love Misquamicut Beach. That's why you're coming down there. That's why you're listening to this podcast. Keep it beautiful. So here is Justine and Pamela from Waste Warriors. Enjoy. I'm really excited to have you guys on, and it seems like it's been a really busy week for you.
Yeah. Definitely it has.
So just so people are, get familiar with your separate voices, Justine, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
So I live in Westerly Pawcatuck area. I work at Drunken Java, also at the drive-in one night a week, and I kind of just started this on the side, just as a volunteer thing, kind of for fun, just to get involved in the community a little bit and pursue something I care about. And it's kind of turned into something bigger than that, which is really exciting.
Awesome. And Pamela, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I live in North Stonington, Connecticut. I work at an animal kennel, and I go to school up in Maine. And Justine actually, she mentioned this to me and a bunch of our friends back in the springtime, and we were all very excited about it, and I'm glad it's actually happening.
So this was something, Justine, you kind of organized the whole Waste Warrior. What would you describe this as? A group, a movement, an organization?
Yeah, I guess both a group and a movement at this point. When I first came up with the idea, like she said, back in the spring, I had no idea who was going to be involved, how big it would get. So, I just made a Facebook group, whoever wants to come, and I was going to do like pizza and music, and I just thought it would be a small thing, but it's turned into something so much bigger than that with the help of the community, and I'm so excited about where it's gone and how it's sparked change, and things are going in the right direction because of it.
Yeah, definitely. So this was planned before the whole situation that was 4th of July week and the first real busy week of the beach. Which, if you don't know, and I'm sure you do, especially because I spoke about it at the beginning of this episode, there was the first busy week. There was trash everywhere. There were videos posted in the morning for people that had just gotten to the beach, and the parking lot, the main strip, the of the beach, the state beach parking lot was filled with trash, and and of course Misquamicut, the NBA. I thought I had my glasses on for a second. Wow. So the NBA has done the whole Respect Our Beaches thing and a push, and there's a press conference that you guys are going to be going to later today with the Lieutenant Governor and state representatives and stuff, which is a big deal, and you guys are a huge part of this, obviously. So what was your reaction knowing that you had planned this before and then seeing this epic need for it right when the busy season started?
It was really just right place, right time sort of thing. I mean, I planned this back probably end of April, beginning of May. By the time it got organized enough, our first meeting to pick up trash actually just fell on that weekend before the 4th of July. And, because it was so bad, we took pictures and stuff, and between our page, which was growing rapidly, and the Misquamicut Beach page and the MBA, everybody sharing everything together, it kind of just blew up. And then from there became a push for a solution because it was so bad. I mean, it literally looked like a landfill that weekend. So it really was just right place, right time. And luckily we got a change out of it. So
what made you guys want to, like, Justine, what made you want to start this? And Pamela, what made you want to become involved in it? Like, have you always been environmentally conscious?
Yeah, I mean, I've always cared about the environment. I'm not like, I still use plastic cups and sometimes, and I'm not like, completely eco-friendly like, some people can be, but I've always cared about it a lot, and, I go to the beach pretty much every day, all year round. I've always lived here. I've worked down there. I just really care about that area, and I think it's unique to us, to our community, and I think it's important to protect it. And you see things like the garbage patch in the Pacific Ocean, and it's like, it's not okay for that to just keep happening. I mean, before you know it, we could have one right next to where we live, and there's no reason that needs to be a thing. And if people want to come to our beach, we want that, but we also want them to respect it. So I really just wanted to make a difference with that.
That's really awesome. And Pamela, what made you want to join?
Well, my family grew up going to Misquamicut. I live about 20 minutes away, and I don't think the tourists really realize how much of an impact it has on our lives and how much we love it there. And so they might not see it as significant as we do. And so we like to take care of it for them and for us. And yeah, I've always been environmentally friendly. I'm still accused of using straws sometimes or plastic cups. But I do go to a school, like my college's theme is, or their brand is, innovation for a healthier planet. And it's very eco-friendly up there. And just being immersed in that environment has made me more ecological friendly. And I scuba dive, and I've gone scuba diving in the Atlantic Ocean off of like Stonington Borough, and I have seen like McDonald containers like in the ocean. And for my senior project, I did scuba diving for my senior project, and for the research paper we had to do for it, I did ocean pollution, and it really is astonishing how much garbage from the land gets into the ocean, and the ocean pollution goes back into the land. It's just one really bad cycle that we need to stop.
Definitely. Well said, both of you. And what is the biggest thing that Like, have you been surprised, either of you, by the community response and the publicity that this has gotten? I mean, WJAR, I know, did a story about the garbage on the beach, and obviously, you know, the lieutenant governor and state representatives are coming to Misquamicut today to talk about it. So it's a big deal, and you guys were just in the Westerly Sun. So is there anything that surprised you about the attention that this has gotten?
Yeah, I mean, I'm overwhelmed and completely grateful that everybody's taken to this so well. I mean, the fact, it almost seemed like everybody was waiting to make a change, and it just took one thing like this to bring everybody together. And that's really what was needed to fix, you know, to make a solution for this problem, was a lot of numbers. And to be part of that, like raising that much awareness and getting all these people together is like, you know, completely blows my mind. And I'm so excited about it and thankful for all the support that the community's given me. It's just amazing. And all of us, I mean, this would be nothing without all the people that joined. I mean, if it was just me on the beach, it really wouldn't have gone anywhere. But the fact that everybody's been so passionate and so dedicated to this is completely amazing. So,
and the page started off with, I think, like 25 members of our friends and
stuff.
family,
Yeah.
and now we have like over 100.
Yeah,
and it really blew up, and we were so shocked and happy and surprised, and we love the fact that Justine's getting recognition, the Warriors are getting recognition, everyone wants to help, and all the businesses want to help.
You know, like I said, when I started this, like, it had nothing to do with recognition, and, you know, I'm not doing it for that at all, but it's like, that's made a change, and that's what matters most to me, is that something is coming out of it. And like Tim from Two Little Fish has been kind enough to donate, you know, free meals to us for our work.
Tim is great, and he's so environmental. The stuff that they're doing at Two Little Fish, and if you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to our interview with Tim Brennan. I think it's like the 4th show on this podcast feed. He talks a lot, especially at the end of the episode, about all of the things that Two Little Fish are doing to become eco-friendly. It's incredible. So it's not a surprise to me at all that he would be a business owner that was trying to reach out and help you guys.
Yeah. I mean, I was so grateful for his generosity. I mean, with the food, and it's just,
and he offers us
and
bags
the support
and gloves
in general. Yeah,
it.
he's just a great guy. And I mean, there's so many people that are offering things to us, bags and gloves and donations, and it's just like, I mean, that's so helpful, and the fact that just everybody's so on board with it is great.
So what do you guys need, and how can people get it to you?
Right now, I mean, like I said, we have plenty of bags, and, you know, could probably use gloves, but those are all small things. I mean, really just all that I've been asking of people is kind of just to be conscious. I mean, that's the most important thing. Like, everybody's welcome to join on Sunday nights at 7. We meet at the playground at the state beach. You know, so I said to people, you know, make sure you bring your kids if you want, you know, bring your Girl Scout troop. Like, it's such an important lesson to teach people. Really, the only thing that I would like to see out of it, besides a solution at the state beach, like garbage cans or dumpsters, would just be awareness. I mean, to the people coming to our beach, you know, let them know what kind of impact it has on our businesses, and how hard the businesses in Misquamicut work to keep it clean for their benefit and for the environment. You know, just knowledge, I guess, is really important at this point.
Would you, do you think that the main problem with the trash on the beach is the state beach and the state beach parking lot?
I think it's everywhere, but so the state beach is responsible for their own property, and the businesses, like, you know, on both sides of the state beach, they do a really good job. The NBA is really on top of the trash, you know, on their property where, you know, they have jurisdiction over. And I mean, they do a great job with that. So for the most part, it's fairly clean and well kept, besides the state beach, because there's nothing there. There's no trash cans. They have a couple people that are hired to come pick up the trash, but that's a lot of work for them. And it's, you know, really big amount of garbage that they have to be responsible for.
That first night that we picked up trash, there were only 2 other guys, like the environmental police, like there were just 2 of them picking up the whole parking lot and the beach. And so we were really happy to help them. Yeah. Because it is a lot of work for just 2 men.
Yeah. And do you think that, what do you think, obviously the biggest solution would be for people to be responsible and care about the environment, and not just, I don't want to say anything too profane, but like to not be completely like just if you're leaving garbage on the beach, if you're leaving garbage anywhere that's not a proper receptacle, what are you doing?
Yeah.
First of all, like, take some pride and responsibility for yourself. But like other than people waking up and being responsible for themselves, which kind of seems like a pipe dream, unless. What do you think is? How do we make it as easy as possible for people to become responsible for themselves?
So I think that's going off of that. Another thing I wanted to say, right now, because all they do is hand out a plastic bag when you're going to the beach, and saying, it's carry in, carry out. A lot of people are just saying, well, there's nowhere for me to put my trash. So there's almost right now an excuse for them to leave it on the ground. And I think by putting trash receptacles of any kind, a dumpster, garbage cans, you're taking away that excuse for them, because now there is somewhere to put their trash on the way out. It's not just, I'm going to throw it in the parking lot because I don't want to carry it home. So by putting receptacles there, you're taking away that there's nowhere for me to put it excuse. And I think that's really going to hold people accountable for their actions. And because now you're putting it in the trash can instead of on the ground. I think that's important.
Right.
So,
and I get that nobody wants to carry trash home,
exactly.
but also, like, that isn't an excuse.
right. But it's one that people could use.
Yeah.
Although I know, like, Caswell has said time and time again, nobody wants to drive back to Springfield, Massachusetts with a dirty diaper.
Right.
Which is true, but also, like, if you're throwing a dirty diaper on the ground,
Which we found
we
a ton of.
have found a ton of those.
if you're throwing a dirty diaper on the ground at the beach, like, what kind of, what example are you setting for the kid that you
exactly.
have with you? Like, you know, you're clearly a parent.
Yeah.
That stuff makes me angry,
probably
and I'm sure
have-
it makes you guys angry as well, which is why you're doing this.
Yeah.
And they probably have like other little children with them, not just the baby.
Yeah.
And so you're saying the example for your kids that are old enough to realize what's happening, that it's okay just to leave a dirty diaper on the ground.
Yeah.
And I mean, some people, like Justine was right, it's not a lot of people, they are using the excuse that there aren't trash bags, because with that first night they saw us with trash bags and they were like, is this the trash? And we were like, yeah, you can put it in our bags, like, rather than, we like thought to ourselves, if you don't put it in our bags, you're just gonna leave it on the ground.
Right.
And there were people walking out carrying huge bags with them, and they were like saying to their families or to themselves, like, where are the trash bags? Like,
We watched people just hang them on the fence
Yeah.
and leave. So
like they were actually asking themselves, like, yo, where the trash bags at? And so they are using that excuse, which is really sad.
And going off of that, again, the first weekend we were there was before the 4th of July, and there was literally nothing, like, as far as what to put your trash in. But after that, we noticed that whoever's working and picking up the trash started tying the large contractor bags, 2 of them at each entrance to each lifeguard chair, all the way down the state beach. When we went back this Sunday and those bags had been there, we noticed less trash on the beach, less trash in the parking lot, but those bags were full.
Yeah, there was
So in other
significantly
words,
less
I mean,
trash.
if those were trash cans, people would be using them. And while the problem's not solved, we still picked up a lot of trash. It was a lot better than it was when there was no option for them.
So are you hoping for, how long has it been? There used to be trash cans on the beach, right?
I think so.
I'm
I
not
don't remember
totally
that,
sure about and I'm sure Caswell or somebody from the NBA would be able to tell us more about this, but it's not a new policy, but it's not a very old policy, this carry in, carry out. Mm-hmm. We're not providing you with anything.
Right.
So would you like to see, is that the goal? Like, is that the goal for today, meeting with the lieutenant governor and the state representatives? You know, like, hopefully this state will take some responsibility for its land and its business, essentially, and put trash receptacles on the beach.
Definitely. I mean, like I said, it's not going to solve the problem completely. You can't force people to be responsible, but at least if there's an option for them, hopefully they'll choose the option to put it in a trash can, you know? And I think yesterday I was talking to George Tattersall, and he's really smart. He knows a lot about this. And he said to me, the carry in, carry out trash policy is great if you have like a state park, like Ninigret or something like that. But Misquamicut State Beach is more than a state park. He said it's really a tourist destination, and that's so right. I mean, thousands and thousands of people are there every day, and carry in, carry out is just not as realistic for that as it is for a hiking trail. And the state just needs to take responsibility for that. So he had a really good point with that. So that's definitely what we're looking for as a start, just for them to be thinking about it. Like, okay, what can we do to make this better? Because in the long run, they're the ones that are benefiting from people coming there along with the businesses. But I mean, slowly, if this keeps getting worse, Misquamicut's going to get a bad reputation. People are going to say that place is trashy, it's gross, and we don't want that, and the state doesn't want that.
Right.
So.
And if you're a tourist who drove 2-3 hours to get to Misquamicut, you're coming because you like it.
Right.
You love the beach, you like the businesses, it's beautiful, right? When you come back the next time, wouldn't you want it to still be the beautiful place that you,
absolutely,
packed up your family and spent an entire day or an entire weekend planning and looking forward to and going to? Why would you do something to lessen the beauty of that place that you clearly enjoy and wanted to go to? That doesn't really make sense.
No, it doesn't. And I think it's just, that's kind of the general mentality of a lot of people. I think it's just that somebody else will do it for me.
Exactly.
If you're coming to visit, you're going to throw your trash on the ground and you're going to think, well, somebody that works here is going to pick it up for me. But that's not the right thought to have in any situation. I mean, in a general caring about our planet, I mean, that attitude just has to stop because you're responsible for yourself, so.
And I think the fact that they do live like hours away, then they leave the trash and then they go home. And so it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So as I always do when I have interviews on this show, I want to ask people a little bit about their personal relationship with the beach, and you guys touched on it a little bit earlier. So, what are some of your favorite things about the beach? Justine, you said you go every day.
Basically, yeah.
So what's some of your favorite things about the beach, and maybe like a favorite memory of the beach?
Well, I've been going there since I was like really little with my family or my friends or whatever. So I have a lot of memories, at the beach. Like I said, I've worked there. I guess this will be my 3rd year working down there, and a lot of great memories from that, and just working with the businesses and knowing the people down there. And I do go a lot, pretty much almost every day. I take my dog down there a lot. It's harder in the summer, but we still go at night. But I just think times like during the winter when nobody's really down here, like I'll go down to Misquamicut and be the only one on the road. I'll pull in, I'll be the only one in the parking lot, and I'll stand on the beach, with my dog or whatever. And I'm the only one there. And like when I look at the beach, like that's how it should be. It's so untouched and it's just quiet and it's beautiful. And in the summer it's really exciting when everybody comes and our whole like town like lights up with people and it's great. But I think back to those days where the beach is so clean and it's so quiet, and I think that's really how it should be at the end of the day when everybody goes home. I mean, when the beach is empty again at night, it shouldn't be full of trash and it shouldn't be full of diapers and things like that. It should be clean, and that's just the way it should be. And so I just care about it, and I think that it would be nice if everybody else cared about it in a similar way.
Have you ever thought about being a politician?
No, not really.
How old are you?
19.
You're 19. You are so well spoken. You care about stuff. You're doing really well with media, and you stay on message really well.
Thank you. I was going to go to school for journalism because that's really what I always like to do. But
that's great. You should.
Thank you.
Fantastic. You're a great speaker.
Thanks.
Pamela, what's your personal relationship with the beach?
Oh, like I said, I live in North Stonington, which is just right over the border in Connecticut. And so my family's been coming here ever since I could remember. Even before I was born, my brothers have been going there with my parents. And we usually went actually during like when we were growing up. My mom's a teacher, so like during the summertime we would go during the day, and we always had the big huge minivan, and so my mom would bring me and my friends and my brothers and their friends, and she would fit all of us kids in there, and we would just spend the day and have fun. But we would go at night a lot when like the tourists would leave, because that's when my dad would come home, and we love to go swimming when it's like getting a little bit cooler out and the water's warm and the sun is setting. It's just so peaceful. And so when my family went, we would get some sandwiches, would have dinner on the beach, and we would just enjoy the tranquility. And it is going to be less like that now, because people are I feel like it's getting worse
It
nowadays.
is getting worse.
And
that's visible difference from when we were young.
Maybe because I was younger, I never noticed the trash until recently, like the last year or two. And I want that for the kids in this area growing up now to still have that peacefulness that they associate with the beach. And honestly, like, yeah, when we bring our dogs to the beach, like in the wintertime, like over March, it was still snowing like on the beach, but we still brought our dogs there because there's no one and you can just enjoy the beach to yourself. And like how Justine said, it looks untouched. Yeah. It's just there and it's nature and it's beautiful. And we want to keep it that way even in this busy season.
Yeah. The beach really is my happy place. And I go like whenever I need to go somewhere, that's where I go. And it's just always, to go there at night in the summer and see it full of trash is pretty disappointing. So,
Pamela, are you also around 19?
And 19. 19.
And what do you, you're also, everything I said about Justine is true for you as well. Very well spoken and on message. And you both, I don't want to, because I think that at 19, I had started a company and was producing theater. So like I don't want to sound condescending to you because I think that hopefully somebody would have said it to me. You both seem like wise beyond your years. Is a saying that I hate saying, and I feel really old and stupid for saying that. But you are both very eloquent and passionate, and it's awesome. So what are you? What do you hope to do in the future?
Well, I'm going to school for animal behavior. And so I want to be a wildlife rehabilitator, or recently been thinking about going into like a government job and working with conservation with park services. But like I really want to work with animals and the environment. Environmental science was a possibility for a minor for me, because of where I do go to school. It's right on the beach. Like my school has its own beach.
Wow.
Yeah, and everyone there is very, very environmentally friendly, and so I want to work with wildlife and nature for.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I think that you both have a very bright future ahead of you.
Thank you.
I think. And what if I get one more classic Misquamicut question? What is your favorite event? Springfest, Fall Fest, fireworks for the 4th of July. Hermit crab races, all of that, Blues on the Beach, the drive-in. What's your favorite event that happens?
Wow, that's a tough one.
That is tough. I
think definitely the drive-in. That's been, since I discovered that in like sophomore year of high school, that's always been like, it's so cute and like, I don't know, it's just such a great thing to do with your friends.
You feel like you're in the 50s.
Yeah, that's
definitely.
That's probably my favorite.
I love the old commercials.
I know. And then, this year, like they posted they were looking for somebody on Saturdays, and I was like, you still looking for somebody? So I work there on Saturday nights now. But, so it's great. But I love that. The fireworks are good too, obviously. But
right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think either Springfest or the Blues Fest is really fun. Like having all those cover bands. Like I heard like the Beatles cover band one time, and they were really good. And the Who I think came, and like a cover band for the Who.
Right.
Yeah, that's really fun listening to all those bands.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys very much. Is there anything else you want to say? Any if people want to get involved with the Waste Warriors organization movement, how can people find you? What can they do to get involved?
Okay, so we have a Facebook group, Misquamicut Waste Warriors. You can join that. It's open to the public. Or we also meet Sunday nights at 7 o'clock at the State Beach by the playground. I also have T-shirts that are going to be, the order is going to be back open again in a week or so. The cost of the shirt is literally just for the shirt, and the money's not going anywhere else. So if you want one of those, check out the Facebook page. And wherever you are, if you can't make it to the State Beach, just try and do your part. That's all. So
awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I'm here with State Representative Sam Azzinaro. Mr. Azzinaro, how did you think that today's press conference went?
I think it went really well. I think the director, Janet Coit, expressed herself very well, along with all the other speakers. There were points brought up, issues addressed, and like everyone said, we do have a plan now in place for a short term to get us through the rest of the season. And we will meet again in the fall when we can sit down and say, look, this is what we need coming up in the next budget year, because budgets are already in, so there's really not a whole lot we can do. But I have to thank Senator Algier for coming up with $5,000, I believe, from the Washington Trust Bank, and along with the town of Westerly for the other $1,000 for this person to be hired by the MBA to take care of monitoring the trash dumpsters. So all in all, I think it was very remarkable that all of us can, and we can do this all the time, we can all sit down together and talk about things without pointing fingers and say, this is the problem, this is what my idea is, what your idea, and everybody's idea comes together, and before you know it, you have a great plan. And I think you're going to see a great plan for next year, and that's what everyone's looking for. We're going to hopefully solve the traffic problem to a degree, and the trash problem. So Rhode Island Westerly depends on tourism. So if we drive people away, we lose revenue, and it would be too bad, because all these small businesses around here, they've got about maybe 10 weeks to make some money, so that it's profitable for them to stay here. And as you can see, there are places on this beach. For instance, Sam's Snack Bar, I think, has been here for as long as I can remember. And his rent is quite high. I can't give you an exact number, but I wouldn't want to pay it. But he comes back every year because there's a profit here. So that's what we need to be concerned about, to keep people coming to Western. We live in the state of Rhode Island too. Thank you, Dennis. Have a good day. So, I mean, that's what this is all about. We have a pristine beach. This beach, and Dennis said it right, it's probably the best beach along the eastern coast, northeastern coast of Rhode Island, of the New England states. So we want to keep it that way, and we want people to come back. We want people to enjoy it. We don't want to have people having to jump over trash bags and everything else. So yeah, you and the Warriors doing a great job.
Thank you.
We really appreciate that. You got to be careful when you're doing this job about what you're picking up. So keep that in your mind.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm now with Janet Coit, the director of the DEM. Janet, how would you say that the press conference went today?
Very well. I was here together with the town council president, the legislators from the area, and lieutenant governor, as well as Caswell Cook from the Misquamicut Business Association. And we talked about a specific plan of action to try to do a better job at preventing trash from being left at the beach and on the parking lot at Misquamicut State Beach.
All right. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
It was really nice to meet you.
You too. Really nice to meet you both.
I'm here with Lieutenant Governor Dan McKee. Mr. McKee, how did today's press conference go, in your opinion?
Justine, it went great because you brought the business community together and the local leadership, the town council and the local leadership with the state leadership, with your Senator Algier and Rep. Azzinaro, and along with the Director Coit. And they talked about how they're going to support the Warriors in terms of making sure that the work that you're doing is going to be complemented with a plan that's going to clean up and really create a cleaner beach, which that's the objective, a cleaner beach so people can enjoy it, people can come from out of state, spend their tourism dollars right here in Rhode Island, have our people who live in the state of Rhode Island be very proud of what's happening down here in Misquamicut Beach.
For more information on the events and businesses in Misquamicut Beach, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and at misquamicut.org.